Okay, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning, and let me be the first person to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Who is excited about 2023? Most people have postulated that this is the year of tech. I don't know why, but this 2023 looks like that year that most of us are really going to do exciting things. Guys, let's start by introducing ourselves. I know that many of us are coming from that place of excitement about, the tech industry, considering the opportunities in the industry today. So, gentlemen and ladies, I want you to go into the chat room and tell us three things about yourself. Your first name, for me, I'm going to say Itayo. The second thing I wanted to tell us about you is your current location. I would prefer you tell us the city where you're currently based. And the last thing is your current industry, right? So for me, I am going to say Itayo Reading Tech Head. Jumoke, thank you for joining me. Jumoke works with Utiva as the head of our retail team. So Jumoke is in Lagos EdTech. Guys, keep it coming. I would spend a minute to tell us why we're here and what we're going to be doing. Eze is in the banking industry, Lagos. Udome, Learning Product Management, Imo State. Ferdinand, did I pronounce your name well? In Imo State too. It's interesting to see two people in Imo State at the same time. Ikorodu front end Dave, Lagos. I see legal practitioner Lokbayemi and Abuja. I see someone in Borno, fashion design. Lagos. Keep it coming, guys. I see a lot of people in the fintech space. So gentlemen and ladies, today I want to narrow down and talk a lot about the non-coding skills because it's a buzz right now. It's a buzz. And I'll tell you why the non-coding space of tech is a big thing. And even in 2023, one of the things I really want to do is to create a special mentoring program for those that are coming into the non-coding side of tech. And I'll tell you why. In fact, I had a conversation with some people that we're trying to partner with to create a special mentoring program for those who are coming into the non-coding side. And the reason is this, right? The tech space is kind of like divided into three different, segments or three different areas. So every time you look at the tech industry, you see three different types of people in the tech space. You see those who are in the coding side of tech, front-end development, back-end development, software engineering, data science, cloud computing, you see artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, those kind of guys are in the coding side of tech. And we've got the second part, which is the non-coding part of tech, the non-coding side of tech, which we call, product management, product design, business analysis, product marketing, and what have you, and even maybe a little bit of data analytics, And then there is the side of tech, which is the business side of tech, venture capital investment, entrepreneurship, chief operating officer, IT sales, business side of tech. You see, the one in the middle that I just described, that's the one that we call the non-coding, tech side of the industry, is becoming a big thing today. Really becoming a big thing today. And there are three reasons behind this. The first reason is organizations in the tech space now understand that for the engineers, the developers to thrive, you need to invest as much as you are investing in the coding side. You need to invest in the non-coding side for the engineers to thrive. And that's one of the major reports that we're getting out of. And that's why, in 2022, over 50,000 companies, hired product managers, product designers, business analysts, product marketing guys. Over 50,000 companies actually hired people within the space, right? And the reason is because organizations now wake up to the reality that, hey, the reason the engineering team is thriving, the reason we are successful as a business is because the guys in the non-coding side of tech really are doing well. Okay, I don't know why that is happening, but I am going to have to stop that. Apologies for that, guys. Okay, so I'm going to say that again, right? The reason the business is thriving today is because, the guys in the coding side are doing well. But because the reason they are doing well is fundamentally because, if you think about it, the engineers rely on product designers, product managers, and all that. So that's the essence of this session. The essence of this session is to really spend more time with you because we want to talk a lot about the non-coding side of tech. I see that people cannot hear me. Jimmy, since you're here, can you help me drop a message for those who cannot hear? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jumoke. I'll make Jumoke a post so that she can give me better support. Okay, so let's narrow it down. There are 5 major technology skills in the non-coding side. 5 major tech skills in the non-coding side, right? And I will pick them one after the other. But before I start to pick them, I want you to go to the chat room and quickly tell me the one you are excited about of these 5. And I know that there are people on this call that want to learn data science, and all that. I know. I'm going to also spend some time to explain data science and other, coding skills. But I really want to talk more about the non-coding skills. So the first one is product management. That's the first one. The second one is business analysis. The third one is product marketing. The fourth one, are you guys coming with me? Okay. The fourth one is product design. Right. So I'm going to take them again. The first one is product management. The second one is business analysis. The third one is product marketing. The fourth one is product design. And the fifth one is digital marketing. So I'm going to double down on each of them. So, so go into the chat room and tell me the one you are super, super, super excited about. Okay, keep it coming, guys. Thank you. Okay. Keep it coming, guys. I want to know the one you're excited about. Beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. So let's pick them one after the other. When you hear about product management, the first thing that should come to your mind is the person leading the entire engineering team. That's the guy that is leading the entire engineering team. You see, usually what happens is this. The organization wants to build a product to solve a business problem. So someone in the organization, people in the organization need to build a product to solve customers' problem. So the product might be, oh, we want to build something that helps you to move money from abroad to Africa, or something that helps you to find the best talent fast. So organizations want to build a product to solve a business problem. The person leading the entire engineering team is the product manager. So there are 5 major skills you need to master if you're going to be a product manager. The first skill is you need to really understand how to think for the product. We call it design thinking. You need to master design thinking. So design thinking is really a major skill if you want to come into the product management space. Why? Because you need to be able to understand what the customers want. The second skill is being able to communicate, what you're building to people so that people can understand what you're building. It's very, very important. One of the major gaps of product managers is that ability to communicate to leaders, communicate to customers, work with engineers. The third skill you need to really master is the skill of research, right? Being able to understand what is out there, what people are already using, what you want to build, yada, yada, yada. You need to be able to research every time. So research is a very key skill to anyone who is coming into the product management space. The fourth skill is your knowledge of technology. Now, I need to say that as a product manager, you don't need to know how to code. Coding is not the thing you need to know how to do, but you need to understand it. You really need to understand technology. Let me give you a very interesting example. As a product manager, you need to know that there is a front end, there's a back end. As a product manager, you need to understand the stacks that we use for front end and the stacks of, when I say stacks now, I mean the technologies that we use for back end. As a product manager, you need to be able to understand what your developer is doing at every time, right? As a product manager, you need to know what your developer is doing. As a product manager, you need to understand the cloud space because your product is going to be deployed to the cloud, right? As a product manager, you need to understand what the product designer is doing. So the knowledge of product management needs to go beyond the theories and needs to go into the practice of product management and also the practice of technology. That is why in 2023, if you really want to come into product management and you want to do well in product management, I'm going to give you 5 major principles that will help you to do well in product management. Number 1 is this: learn product management, right? Number 2, learn the technologies that engineers use. So you don't have to be a master of, you don't have to be, you yourself, you don't have to really be a developer, but you need to take a very short course, a very short one, maybe 10-day course on coding, so that you can understand what the engineers are doing when they are doing those things. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should go and invest so much in being a developer yourself, but you need to master a little bit of coding, a little bit, so that you understand what your engineers are doing, you know where they are, you know how they are thinking, you know what they are writing, even if you yourself cannot write it. When someone shows you JavaScript, you need to know that this is JavaScript, even if you cannot write it. That's how you think as a product manager. That's how you develop yourself as a product manager. The top thing you need to do is that you need to join different communities. If you really want to get a job fast as a product manager, as a product designer, as a BA, as a product marketer, you need to be a part of different communities. In fact, every Friday of your time, invest it into communities. Invest it into communities. I mean, when you join Utiva, you would have a community that you're a part of. You will be a part of our community, but that is not enough. You need to extend into joining more communities. The next thing you need to start to do is that you need to start to look for mentors in the space. Mentors in the space. If you really want to do well in 2023, right, in the tech space, you need to make sure that you don't isolate yourself. And I want to make sure that I want to emphasize that part, because I think that part is very, very important. Don't isolate yourself if you want to get into the tech space and you want to thrive. I've mentored a lot of people in this space, and I'm so proud to say that. One of the things I have realized is that those who thrive and those who do not thrive are those who join different communities and those who get mentors. So don't underemphasize or underestimate the power of being in different communities, the power of being, having a mentor. Let me talk about business analysis, right? Business analysis and product management are very similar. BA and product management are very similar. And the good thing is this: if you join BA, the advanced BA is like saying the difference between, chemistry and advanced chemistry, accounting and advanced accounting, right? The difference between BA and product management is just a little, bit. So whichever you join, there are big opportunities in the space. But I always recommend that you understand what you are getting into. The difference between a product manager and a BA is this. Let me explain a little bit so that you can understand. For a product manager, when they hire you to become a product manager of an internal product. Because the organization has an internal product that they sell to customers or that customers use. So you are the one managing that product. But as a BA, most times when they hire you to become a business analyst, managing or working with the engineering team to support either the product that they're building internally or support an external client. That is majorly the difference. I hope you understand what I've just explained. So sometimes if you're hired as a product manager, the organization has one single product internally that they are building or that they have built, and your job as a product manager is to continue to ensure that the product is doing well. You continue to build the iteration of the product. You're talking to customers. You're doing research. You're working with the engineers. You're working with the leadership to make sure that the product continues to do well in the market. But if you're hired as a BA, usually your job is there is a client. There is a client somewhere. The client can be an organization externally, or the client can be another department internally. But there is an organization, there is a team of people that wants you to solve a problem for them. Your job as a BA is to first understand what they want you to solve and then work with the engineers to solve the problem. That is majorly the difference between a BA. So you see that it's quite very similar. It's a thin line. So the skills that you need for product management is almost the same thing that you need for BA. The skills are almost the same that you need. The difference is that if you are a product manager, you are committed to one product all your life, unless the organization say, oh, we see another opportunity somewhere, let's build the product to tackle that opportunity. But you are still solving problems for the users, for the customers. But if you are a BA, the product you are working on changes at times. You might be working on this product. Once you have completed it and it is deployed to customers, your job changes next. You have to be working on another product because it's always about what does customers want. What does your client want? Now, the skills are almost the same. So communication is a major skill here. Research is a major skill here. Working with people, because you're going to work with people. You're going to work with engineers, work with developers, work with this, work with that. So working with people is a very, very important skill to master. You need to know how to work with people. Then there are other tools that you will learn to use, Jira, and all these tools, Microsoft VCO. These are tools that we use. You would also learn to use Figma. You're not the one designing the product, but you also need to know what the guys are doing at every time. If you're going to thrive in the BA space, there are three major things you need to have at the back of your mind. Three major things. Number one is this: you need to be a part of different BA communities. That is number one. Number two is this: you need to find a mentor in this place, someone who can be committed to coaching you, to mentoring you, to showing you opportunities, because usually there are hidden opportunities in the tech space that you might not see. Most vacancies are not announced. Most vacancies are not announced. So it's always very good, to have someone in the space, a mentor in the space who can always support you. And that is a very, very important thing that you need to learn to do. I hope you understand the point. So it's very, very important that you learn that Fundamentally important, regardless of the skill you want to learn in this space. Business analysis, product management, product marketing, whatever skill you want to learn. I hope that you guys are following me. Let me take a pause here because I know that I've been sharing a lot of information and I want to be sure that you guys are following me. If you're following me, can you come into the chat room and let me know that you're following? So I've taken time to explain, these very fundamental principles. The tech space is a big space. The non-coding side of tech, product management, business analysis, product marketing, digital marketing, what have you, in the tech space, these areas, these fields are growing very fast, right? But you must master some skills, working with people, communication, tools like Jira, tools like Microsoft VCO, if you're coming into the BA space, product management space, there's some very fundamental things you need to learn, how to research, understanding of technologies. Even if you're not going to write a single code, you must understand what the engineers are doing. So if your engineer says, oh, I'm using JavaScript, you need to know what JavaScript is, even if you cannot write it. Because you are the leader, you're the one leading the entire engineering team. Even if you don't know what Python is, even if you cannot write Python, you need to know what they use Python for. Right? You need to know. It's very important because the concept here is that you are the one leading the entire engineering team, as a product manager, as a BA. So it's very important that when you learn the non-coding skills, you also take time to, just brush up a little bit, learn the introduction to software development, so that you understand the concept behind tech. Does that make any sense? And I just want to take time, to explain that a little bit more. Now, let's move on to some other non-technical skills. And I'm going to talk about another skill that I think is very important. And this skill is product design. Today, product design is one of the biggest skills out there. Today, product design, quote me anywhere. So if you're coming into the product design space, love to solve problems. Really, really love to solve problems. But beyond loving to solve problems, you need to master one skill. That's the art of understanding what the customers want. You see, you are the product designer. You are the one that is going to design what the engineers will build. Right? So one of the skills you must master is the art of understanding what the customers want and how the customers want to use your product. Because, whatever you build, whatever you design is what the engineers will build, right? So as a product designer, you need to take some time out and say, hey, I really want to understand what the customers want, because it is that knowledge of the customer that you will design into the product. And let me tell you 3 things you should do as a product designer. 3 things, if you really want to come into the product design space, 3 major things that you should have at the back of your mind. I don't know how many people on this call want to come. I don't know how many people on this call want to come into the product design space. But if you really want to do well in the product design space, 3 major things you should know today. Number 1 is product design is about your portfolio. So when you're done with your training, you need to design 15 things to build your portfolio. But don't just go and design them, right? It's not enough to design those things. You need to tell a story behind the things that you design. So you need to show us, explain to us, why did you choose that color? Why did you place this button here? Write a story behind everything you have designed. That's what your portfolio needs to look like. It's not just a bunch of different designs put together in one PDF and say, let me share my portfolio with you. Nobody cares about that. You need to be able to tell a story behind the things that you've designed. The second thing you need to do is you need to be a part of different communities. You need to be a part of different communities. See, the opportunities in the product designs are out there. They're out there. I'm going to recommend some communities for you to join. They're out there. You need to go and join those communities. And finally, if you're going to thrive in the product design space, listen to me, you need to share your work. Don't be an introvert, right? When it comes to your career, you need to share. You need to go on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on your Instagram stories, on your WhatsApp. Continue to share your story such that people that remember you for one thing. They remember you for product design. That's how to become successful. You need to continue to share your story such that people that remember you for one single thing, product design. The same thing if you're coming into data science. It's the same thing. If you're coming into data science, you need to build your portfolio, work on at least 15 different projects. I mean, when you enroll in UTIVA, we're going to give you 5 projects to work on when you get into UTIVA, but you yourself need to step out of the box and work on more projects. But don't just work on projects, you need to share your portfolio. So let me share this with you guys. And I think that this is very important. So guys, take some minutes and follow me because I want to share some things with you now. I hope everybody's following. I want to share a few things with you. And I want to believe that, you guys are following me. So I want to share this with you. In 2023, 5 things that you must do. Number 1 is this: be a part of different communities, UTIVA and other communities out there. Number 2 is this: you need to share your portfolio such that people that remember you for one thing: product management, data science, cloud computing, product design. The people need to remember you for one single thing. Number 3 is when you join communities, be active in that community. Don't just, be a part of a community and then stand akimbo. You need to be active. Number 4 is find a mentor, find a coach in the tech space. There are opportunities in the tech space, but most of these opportunities are hidden. So find a mentor, find a coach, build relationship. Number 5 is continue to push your story out. Continue to push your story out to people. Let people identify you, with the tech space. Now, let me quickly double down on other things that I think, we need to talk about. Can you guys still hear me? Someone says you can barely hear me. If you can hear me, I'm going to take a break. I want to know if you guys can hear me. Please go into the chat room. If you can hear me, let me know. Okay, I come back after 30 seconds. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Now, let's move to the next level. There are other skills in the tech space. Product marketing is another very big skill. If you really want to thrive in the product marketing space, fantastic opportunity. I love it. What do you need to do well as a product marketer? Let's quickly unravel what product marketing is even about. Product marketers are the guys that make sure that they continue to push the product out there. It's one of the big opportunities in the tech space. And let me tell you why product marketing is a big opportunity. When a tech company raises money, the first thing on their mind is, winning a market share. That's the first thing on their mind. We need to win a market share. We need to be known. We need to be popular, right? Then they begin to think we need to hire a product marketer. Product marketing is one thing on their mind. So if you really want to get into the tech space, where are the big opportunities in tech space? Product marketing managers are, balling big time in the tech space. But let me tell you, what do product marketers really do? Right. Regardless of the area you are in tech, B2B, B2C, when I say B2B, and I mean business to business, products that are business to customers, products that are SaaS, software as a service product, whatever you are in the tech space, product marketing is one of the big opportunities in tech, right? But let me tell you the areas of product marketing that are very, very fundamental and are important if you're coming into it. Understanding pricing and business model is a very, very important part of product marketing. How should we price our products? How much will customers be willing to pay? How will they want to pay? Should we give it free and then expect them to pay back this value? For example, we all use LinkedIn for free, but if you want more, you pay a premium on LinkedIn. Zoom is free, but up to 1 hour, and only for about 100 people, I guess. So there are solutions. Gmail is free. We all use Gmail for free until you run a business and you want a Gmail solution, or until you have exhausted your bandwidth and then you need to pay a little bit more. Pricing and business model is a very important part of product marketing. How to analyze figures, because you're going to be doing a lot of campaigns. Just yesterday, I was checking one of my friends, social media accounts for his company, and this guy has spent $35,000, on marketing, on ads, on Google, Facebook ads, Google ads, Facebook ads. And I was looking at the analytics, over 100,000 subscribers. That's powerful. You need to understand, analytics, figures, metrics are very important. You need to understand customers that are buying your product. Who are the people buying the product? Because you are the product marketer, right? You need to know those who are buying the product. So product marketing is about selling the product to the market or to the users. So you need to understand your customers. Who are the customers? Positioning, messaging, yada, yada, yada. You need to understand all these things as a product marketer, right? Well, let me tell you, just like product management, if you really want to do well in the product marketing space, you must also be a part of different communities. You must also, be a part of different communities. You must get a mentor in the space. You must continue to push yourself out there. Continue to push yourself out there. So let's get a little bit practical. I'm going to share 5 tricks with you, and then we're going to round up for the day. 5 tricks, and then we're going to round up for the day. Are you ready, guys? 5 tricks. The first trick is this. If you are very new in tech, let's get practical. How do you get your first job? If you're very new, how do you get your first job? Let me share a very practical experience with you. The things you can do if you want to get your first job. Number 1 is this. Your social media platforms. Go and make your social media platforms about the field you're getting into. That's the first thing. Your LinkedIn, so even if you have a current job right now, right? And your social media platform is showing that, hey, this is where you're currently working. Also mention the other areas that you're trying to get into. Say something like exploring data science, emerging product manager. Use terms like newbie, cloud engineering, right? And in your profile, narrate a story of how you are moving into that space. Say something like, although still very early in the product space, I am passionate, although still very early, still very new in the product design space, I am passionate about building products or designing products or analyzing data that helps businesses to understand, their pain points. I'm passionate about building or designing product that customers want to use. Be an extrovert now when it comes to your story. Tell the story. Tell the story. Number 2, immediately, now this is important. Immediately you're done with the Utiva learning program, because remember I said this is a 4-month roadmap for getting jobs, right? So what I'm sharing with you is 4-month things you must do in 4 months if you want to get a job. 4-month roadmap. I'm going to take a break now because I want you to really digest this thing. Let's digest what I've just explained. Number 1, your social media platforms have to be about the field you're getting into, correct? So go on your Twitter, in fact, right now, before you start your Utiva learning program, right now, when you're done with this course, go and change your LinkedIn profile. say something like, I'm excited about data science. I'm exploring cloud computing. Why? Because energies attract. Energies attract. You see, when I was getting into the year 2020 during COVID, I told myself one thing. I said, I'm going to be only close to people that and join communities that attract my type of energy, because energies attract. When you start to say that you are in this space, you start to attract people who are in that space. And even social media analytics, social media algorithm will start to bring people that are close. So you wonder why every time you are on social media, you're only seeing things on Instablog. It's because you are always searching Instablog. Every time you see funny things on your social media, timeline, it's because you are always searching funny things. If you make your social media about tech, you will attract people in the tech space. It's natural, it's normal. You will attract people who are in the tech space. So change your social media platforms. Number two, when you change your social media platforms, begin to write a little bit about that field, about that space. A little bit. And see, you have to have, this is 4 months, right? You have to have a little bit of paranoia about the tech space, and begin to ask for help. Guys, do you know any community? Do you know any, ask people to tell you about those things. People will begin to tell you. Join those communities. So in 4 months, join 10 communities. Some of those communities are on WhatsApp. Some of them are on Slack. Some of them are on LinkedIn. Some of them, they host Twitter spaces. Sometimes Twitter spaces every evening, 7 o'clock, put it on your calendar, 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, people always host Twitter spaces talking about tech. Join those Twitter spaces. Now, don't just join the Twitter space alone. Ask questions. Go and talk in the Twitter space. Raise up your hand and say, guys, thank you so much for hosting this Twitter space. My name is, Abdul Karim. I'm based here. I'm just a newbie in tech. I'm wondering if there's someone, here, who, but listen, let me give you a script. Hi guys, thank you so much for hosting this space. If there's someone who hosted that space, mention the name of this person. Thank you, Jimmy, for hosting this space. Amazing job you've been doing. I'm wondering if there's someone here who is looking for a new mentee. I've done XYZ. I just completed my UTverse training program. I have designed, I have built, I have created, because you need to talk about your accomplishment. Nobody wants to mentor a non-entity. Nobody wants to, no shade, don't intend to abuse you. I'm just saying, nobody wants to mentor a non-entity. So you need to prove on that stage, you need to say what you have done. Just last week, I was in London. So I was hanging out with some people. So I met someone who is one of the biggest names. She's a CTO of Barclays, in what's it called? In London. So I was trying to go get coffee because we work from the same space. I was trying to go get coffee. And then, someone just introduced me to her. Like, hey, Tayo, this is the CTO of Barclays in London. Do you want to meet? I'm like, hi, my name is Tayo. And quickly, I said, I'm building a technology company, but in the past, I've built a technology company that has done X amount of US dollar in revenue. We are the biggest on the continent, because nobody wants to mentor someone that would waste each of our time. So the little achievement you've achieved, put it out there. Put it out there. Just say, oh, I'm new in data science, but I have done X, Y, Z before. No matter how small that you've done, put it out there. No matter how small, nobody started big. We all started small. We all started small. One of my mentees was talking to me yesterday and said, hey, Tayo, how many awards have you gotten this year? local and international award. I said there was a time in my life I didn't have awards too. I didn't have, yes. There was a time in my life that was just one quiet guy, 2016, 17. Nobody knows me in tech. Nobody knew me in tech. I was just one guy, me too. I was very early, 2015, 2016. I was, 2016, but nobody starts big, but you have to start from somewhere. But when you are starting, share your little success and say, hey, this is what I have done. This is my little success. I've built this, I've designed this, I've created this, but I'm looking for someone to mentor me. You understand? Now, that's the third thing. The third one, I don't know how many people can really do the third one, but I think it's a little bit tough. But I've seen that people that do it, they go far. Teach. Now, I'm going to take a break here because I really want you to digest what I've just told, because not everybody can teach. Teach. If you can teach in the tech space, trust me, come back to me after 4 months and tell me if you don't get a job. Trust me, you will. I don't know how it happens. I don't know the miracle behind it, but it happens. Teach. Trust me, go and do it. 4 months, come back to me and tell me, Tayo, this thing works or it doesn't work. Teach. How do you teach? You see, you have gone to a data science class, right? You've done a product design class. There are people on your WhatsApp that also want to learn product design. Just share it on your group and say, guys, on my WhatsApp story, instead of sharing one last man that slapped the governor of Lagos State and the story went viral on your WhatsApp, share tech. Don't waste that WhatsApp story. Don't waste it. Right? Don't waste it. Just go and say, guys, I just completed my data science program. I'm looking for someone or people that want to learn data. I will teach you 1 hour every weekend. Just teach for free. Teach people. If you're going to learn product management, start your own small mentoring group. The difference between leaders and followers is that leaders take initiatives. They do things that others cannot. So now there are 172 people on this call. Now I can bet you that maybe only 10 people will do what I say. People will now say, that tech there is tough. Well, it's not tough. You are just the one that cannot take initiative. It's simple. It's not tough. It's not. It's not. Last 2 weeks, I had a very small mentoring group for about 15 to 20 of my very, very close mentee. And all of them, I'm on the board of their companies. So we're just chatting. And then those guys were like, Itayo, you have the UK tech talent visa. You have this visa, you have this visa, so you can enter into any country. I'm like, see, guys, these things are no magic. Life is no magic. Be bold enough to take initiative and your life will change. Shikina. Be bold enough. Don't say, for me, I'm not good though. None of us is good. There are grammarians in this room now that are listening to my English and know that, yes, some of the tenses I'm saying are wrong. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is good. But the difference is that some of us are taking initiatives while others are standing akimbo. They are afraid, they are scared. Nobody will attend. Even if I put it on my WhatsApp group, nobody will take me serious. Put it first. Put it first. Even if it's 2 people that join your class, teach. Yes, teach. Teach. If you can teach, things change for you because once you are teaching, you have now moved past the stage of being a student. You are now becoming a leader, a thought leader in the space. And what now begins to happen is that opportunities now begin to come to you. The fourth thing I want to talk about is go on your social media platforms, especially LinkedIn, and search for anyone that is building a tech company and they are still very early. They are still very early. Maybe there's a team of 3 people. They are building a tech product. A team of 5. They're building a tech product. They are still very early. Go and look for those kind of people and volunteer. Volunteer. If you can volunteer, you begin to build your experience. You begin to build your profile. Things you begin to change. Volunteer, right? Volunteer. Even in UTIVA, when you go through UTIVA training program, we have a community in UTIVA, for example, volunteer in that community. Volunteer in that community. Do you understand what I'm saying? Volunteer in the community. That's very, very important. Volunteer in the community. Very, very key. So don't just, in this space, don't just exist without, you taking initiative. And the last thing I want to talk about is when you now comes to like create your CV, look for mentors that can help you review, especially because you're going to have a WhatsApp group when you attend UTIVA learning program. Put your CV there and say, people like to help. So put it there and say, guys, this is my CV. Can somebody help me check and give me feedback? And finally, start to write your scripts for your interviews. Because you're going to go through interviews, write your scripts for your interview. People would say, Itai, what do you mean by script? Well, write a script, find a script. You see, your first 10 interviews, don't go into that interview room without a script and go and master that script. So every time, let me search for my script, for example. Let me see if I have a script. I do have a lot of script for interviews, a lot of scripts, for my interview. So when people ask me, oh, Itai, you do well in interviews. Well, unfortunately, I have scripts. So when I'm going into an interview, I usually have scripts. Yes, I think there is one here that I just created. Yes, let me share my screen so that you can see what I'm talking about here. I don't know what I was applying for, but this is a script. If you check now, you realize that this was edited last in 2008, September 27th. That means I'm always using script. So, and this is one job with Multiverse. So you can see that even me, an entrepreneur, I am still developing myself because I don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to just go and look like I know it all. So even me, I'm always applying for jobs. I would apply for jobs, right? I would apply for jobs and then I would expect them to give me a feedback and they will ask me to join the interview. I'll go and do the interview because I want to know if I am really developing myself. Because one problem with being an entrepreneur is that you will just think you are good all the while, all true. I want to see, can companies hire me? So I have a script. And you see, all the scripts written. So when I get into the interview room and then the guy says, hi, Tayo, how are you? Good. I'm like, hey, I'm good. How are you too, sir? Like, oh, fine. My script is in front of me. And then the guy would say, can you tell me about yourself? Let's start with yourself. Tell me about yourself. And then I can say something like, thank you so much, Marcus. I actually started my career as a freelance project manager, and then I moved into a full-time role. That was in 2012. I was pretty much working as an incubator manager at Transfar. The core of my role was managing a community of other entrepreneurs across 4 different countries, in Africa. While I was doing that, I designed a 1-year incubation program. As at 2012, I was already implementing a hybrid learning model then. Things were not really popular then, but I was already doing it. My approach to managing community was quite very robust. I developed an inclusive training program for members and the community. I designed mentoring programs that involved, peer-to-peer, where I kind of like paired entrepreneurs with already successful entrepreneurs. I had scripts. Now, if you're going to come into the tech space, please go and have your script. And it takes time for the script to get better. It takes time. You continue to master how you're using the script. You continue to master how you're using the script. Make sure when you get into the interview room, you're not reading it. Because if you're reading it, you look artificial. How do you look like someone that is not reading it? Go and master it before you get into the interview. But have a script so that you can be fluent, you can look smart. Remember, most of us just look smart. We try to look smart. Really, really try to look smart. So go and master your script. It's very, 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 very important. Okay. So this point, let me quickly share with you guys. If you're coming into the tech space, we want to help you. We want to help you. Let me first ask, how many people want to start this journey by January and by April want to say, hey, I've gotten my first job? By January and by April, say, I've gotten my first job. You know, how many people? Now, let me help you understand something, right? I mean, learning tech is not easy. I'm going to pause here because I really want you guys to hear this part. So I'm going to pause and have my water because I'm already dehydrated. Learning tech is not easy. Now, listen to me, guys. I really want you to hear this part. Learning tech is not easy. If it was easy, right, everybody will be successful. Because the things I've just told you now, I've just told you, not everybody can do them. When it comes to doing, it's like every time I look at the mirror, I don't like my body. I'm like, wow, me too, I can't have muscles, you know, and be a little bit. Go and gym now. You think going to the gym is easy? You wake up in the morning, when you are tired, you're going to jog, you're going to carry iron. You're going to be doing like this. It's not easy. Nothing good comes easy. You would have to do the work. You would have to do what? You would have to do the work. It's not easy. But if you can commit January, February, March, that's 3 months. If you can commit January, February, March, and tell yourself, I am committed to, the first time in my life, I want to be committed to this tech thing and get the hang of it. 3 months, January, February, March. See what would happen in April. You know, so learning tech is not easy. But let me share how we have designed our learning programs to help you. The first thing here is this. The UTIVA learning program is hybrid. What does that mean? It means you will learn on your own and you will come to live class. You would have learned some things on your own, right? So we are asking you, learn ABC on your own. Then once you are done with ABC, come to live class and come and meet the trainer. And the trainer will now begin to coach you and mentor you and drill you and help you get better by working on projects in class. So you're coming to live class to come and work on projects. So our live classes are very, very focused on you working on projects, asking questions, interrogating, getting experience, not just, you know, learning, because learning is useless if you cannot adapt what you have learned to real life scenarios. So that's what you're doing in class, right? And then you're going to be working on capstone project. If you enroll in our BA program, product design program, you would have projects to work on. Those projects are there to help you get better, right? So we call them capstone projects, right? Now, the good thing today is that if you get into the UTIVA learning program, between now and April, you can begin to get better. Now, our programs up until January 1, we have a discount going on. I'm going to pause there. But I want you guys to think about this.
Hi, everyone. Just stay on the call. Heita will be joining us shortly. I guess maybe it's network, but I'm sure we've learned one thing or the other in the chat box. Quickly in the chat box, I want you to drop at least 2 things you have learned from Heita today. So quickly in the chat box, mention 2 things that you have learned from Heita today. So I will go first by saying, okay, I learned about mentoring and also putting myself out there. That's 2 things I have learned today. So in the chat box, I want you to tell me at least 2 things that you have learned. Thank you so much. Join the community and mentoring. I'm waiting for others. Tell me 2 things you have learned from Itayo. Hi, Itayo.
Great, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm having my fruit here.
So okay, everybody's telling at least 2 things in the chat box that they have learned today. At least 2 things. Let's always follow.
Join now. Yeah, I like Jumoke for that. Join now. Someone just posted that. I learned about taking initiatives. Your importance of a community and mentoring, very important. So now, for all the Utiva learning programs are designed to help you get a hang of tech, right? We will coach you, we'll mentor you, we'll drill you, we'll prepare you, right? We'll drill you, we'll prepare you, we'll coach you, right? And the thing is this, between now and January 1, all our programs are discounted. You know, we call it the Christmas bonanza, the Christmas discount, right? All our programs are discounted between now and January 1. That means that you have 6 days to enroll, 6 days to enroll. And the discount is off. Or is it 6 days or 7 days? Counting today too, to enroll, and the discount is off. And all you need to do if you want to enroll in any of the Utiva learning program is very, very simple, easy peasy. There's nothing difficult here. Just go on your browser, right, and type utiva.io on your browser. It will bring our website, to you. Very easy. Just scroll to the course. Is it data science? Is it design? Is it product management? Is it cloud? Is it programming? Is it business analysis? Is it product marketing? Whatever you want to learn, just come here. So let's say that I want to learn business analysis. You click on business analysis, and then you learn more about the program. Then you click enroll now. You go and enroll. Once you click enroll now, our BA program is actually 200,000. But if you click pay now, you see it at 160,000 discounted for you. But only between now and January 1st. Once it is January 1st and everybody says Happy New Year, we'll take this off. We come back to our normal price. So I'll do it again. So let's say that you want to learn data science, right? In fact, we have different data science programs. All you need to do is to choose the one that works for you. Under data here, you see we have our data science bootcamp. We have our data analytics bootcamp. If you click on data analytics bootcamp, for example, it's for 120,000. Once you click pay now, we're giving it to you for 96,000. Once you're ready to pay. And all you need to do is to fill this form and click on pay, and you pay, you get into the program. That's how all our learning program is structured. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do quickly is this. I like to take selfie. So I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to start their video. Guys, you can start your video now. Let's do selfie quickly. This is the last session. Oh, it's not the last session, but this is going to be like one of my last sessions for the year. One of my last sessions of the year. Put on your video. Let's do selfie together, guys. Let's do selfie together. Aha, Henry, I see you. Eze. Al Maruth. Good. King Fred. Kabiasio. Okay, a whole king on the call. Am I not lucky? So if I see Yusuf. Yusuf will say, let's take selfie together, guys. All you need to do is just to wave. So I'm going to tell you when to wave, but not yet. All you need to do is to wave. I'll tell you when to wave, but not yet. But we're ready. I even see 2 people on the call at the same time. That's interesting. Oh, hi, guys. Good to have you. Okay, guys, come closer to the camera this way. Just come closer to the camera this way and wave. That's all you need to do. Just wave. Make sure you wave. Make sure you wave. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. We had almost 180 people at the same time on the call. Thanks for being here with us. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Okay.
Hi, Tayo, just before you go. So if you still need guidance as to what course works for you, I dropped the WhatsApp link for you, Tiba, on the chat box. All you have to do is click the link. It brings you straight to my WhatsApp. I'll be there to answer all your questions. Thank you so much for doing this, Eitai.
Yeah, I'm going to put the link better because it's not showing here well. The link is not clickable. Can you reshare the link, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Eitai.
Can you reshare the link? The link is not clickable.
All right, I'll do that now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, some people are already texting me already. So
Okay.
I don't know why it's not clickable at your hand, but I'll do that again now.
Cool. Okay. Guys, feel free to chat with Jimmy. Jimmy will be there right there on chat to talk.